Is William Jeffcoate. I'm a retired endocrinologist from Nottingham, UK. I'm also the not retired clinical lead of the National Diabetes Foot Care Audit of England and Wales. Now, I've been given some questions to give you my views on. I'll do my best to answer them. The first one is, do professionals have enough awareness of the principles of managing diabetic foot disease? Well, the answer is clearly no. And very few of all the professionals of different specialties in different institutions, certainly throughout UK and pretty sure everywhere, do not have sufficient training to enable them either to manage diabetic foot disease or realize who should be managing it and how quickly. And perhaps the best published data from this comes from 3 years ago from Michigan in 2018, where they did a survey of all the physicians in a big teaching hospital and found that the ambient knowledge, if we could call it that, about this was actually about Charcot, was next to zero throughout the whole hospital. And so the answer is, do physicians have enough awareness? No. The next question that I was presented with is for me to say, what do I think is the greatest advance in the management of diabetic foot ulcers in the time that I've been thinking about diabetic foot ulcers, which is a long time. And I think, I'm not sure, it's actually the establishment of specialist meetings in diabetic foot disease, which brings people together, hopefully multidisciplinarily, but brings people together to discuss it, and it gives the whole specialty more credibility, more coherence, and more agreement amongst the specialists who are involved. And of course, there have been numbers of different national and international meetings. Malvern might have been the first, the International Working Group, San Antonio, the big ones in the USA, etc. Lots of them worldwide, and I think that that's probably the greatest advance. Now, the third question that I was given is, what's the biggest challenge facing people who are interested in the management of diabetic foot disease, or indeed those people who've got diabetic foot disease? And I think the real problem is the getting across to the generalists and specialists of all different types, in hospitals, out of hospitals, doctors, non-doctors, who remain impervious to what are the principles of a multidisciplinary foot care service, which is the essential aspect of management. It's those people who are blocking the doors and denying access to people to the care that they need, for the care that they need. Then I was asked, if I had my time over again, would I make the same choices? Well, the answer is no, because actually the choices weren't there. When I decided to set up a diabetic foot clinic, there weren't any really, except possibly King's might have been there a year ahead of me. There'd be others that I didn't know about. There was nobody to tell me what to do. We just did it. We realized there was a need, and so we set it up. So we couldn't do that. But then I couldn't just say I would do it again, because lots of the things I've done through my life have been rather stupid things. And including when I did this, I actually reduced my salary, my professional salary, to 50% to give myself enough time to raise the money, to do the research, to do all the developments. Now that's bonkers. But there must be some ways, good ways of achieving the same ends. And so the answer is, if I had my time over again, no, I wouldn't do it the same way. But on the other hand, I hope I would achieve as much as I hope I've been able to achieve. But if I was in training now, I think I would go to someone who was an expert and ask them what they thought I could most usefully do, given what they know about me, and really asking, where should I be going? Should I be trying to develop as a clinician, as a scientist, a trialist, whatever it is, to try and maintain the momentum, the development of the specialty? And the last question I was asked is, what makes me happy? apart from gin. I think clinically, well, I'll answer it clinically and non-clinically. Clinically, the thing that makes me happy is getting it right. It always was. You'll get a feeling when you know that you've done something really well, you've managed someone really well, and they're grateful to you. Non-clinically, I think the things that make me happy is a progressive awareness of the need for data. That's not just data on the effectiveness of treatments, which we certainly do need treatment on, data on, but data on audit, on how well we do. You can't just believe you're a good doctor or a good podiatrist or whatever. You've got to have evidence that you are providing the services needed, and whatever you're doing is as good as anybody else. And that's the way forward, is to have markers of good care, because that's what we're all trying to do, is to make sure that this dreadful group of conditions which we care for are looked after as best as they possibly can be. That's all. Thank you.